When it comes to weddings, everyone wants the perfect day. But unless you have unlimited funds, it's I do, but at what cost?
Since you've got about 40 centerpieces, that's going to take up a huge chunk of the budget.
I don't want to hear.
As long as it looks expensive and it makes the venue look beautiful. People don't know that it's not authentic. Don't be such a sushi snob. And my whole thing about tattoos, the pain factor.
Yeah, they say diamonds are forever. No, this is really forever.
Yeah, this is really forever.
Weddings can be chic. Weddings are often unique. Weddings require great budgetary technique. Meet Grace and Darren, just married. The journey to their wedding day was as unique and expansive as their budget. Let's take a look at what happened along the way.
My name is Grace, and I'm a 30-year-old flight attendant. Darren saw me 5.5 years ago when I was working as a makeup artist in a department store. He tracked me down and asked me out. I fell in love with his dry sense of humor and his incredible charm. This is the story of our downtown chic wedding.
Weddings and money are like Darren and Grace, two parts that make a whole. And at the end of the show, we'll let you in on how much of a financial hole our couple was in by their big day.
You know, you only do it once in your life, so I figured it's all or nothing. So we went all the way. I think everyone walked out saying that was a very us kind of wedding.
One of the main comments said, you know what? That wedding was so you.
Well, it may have been so you, but it wasn't without a little help from someone else.
What we wanted from the wedding planner was for her to pull off a wedding that looks high-end, modern, downtown, sophisticated.
Just had that urban flair.
Yeah.
Meet Karina Lemke. With 10 years of wedding planning experience, she was all set to bring her flair to Grace and Darren's urban, sophisticated wedding.
I'm a producer. I'm there to make sure that everything goes well with their day. But I also come to this from a design perspective, so I'm very concerned that all of the elements fit together. What is the most important thing for your wedding? Is there anything special that you're doing to make that happen?
I think everything should be cool. We're going to have a little Japanese ceremony and also a little Korean ceremony, so hopefully everybody will be happy.
We'll try and tie in the cultures together and harmoniously.
I've heard that a full Japanese tea ceremony, if done properly, can take, I think it's 6 hours.
Right, so we're not doing the Japanese, we're doing the Korean.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Well, just because it takes 6 hours, I don't think we have time to do that.
So how long do you figure the Korean takes?
Oh, it's 15 minutes.
Oh, piece of cake.
15, 20 minutes tops.
But still, go Japan.
Darren and I have had a few disagreements over the wedding, but I always win in the end because it's my day. Whatever the bride wants, I get to have.
In terms of your guest count, where are you at?
We've sent out 202 invitations, and everyone's bringing a guest.
Okay, so that's 400.
Yeah. It's $100 per plate, and that includes 3-course meal with hors d'oeuvres.
And since there's a little Korean flavor, I think there should be a little Japanese flavor. So we're having sushi, authentic Japanese sushi.
You're right.
The one thing that Grace and I decided that we will not compromise on is the venue. We want urban hip, great food, great classy joint.
Who's paying for the wedding?
Her mother was nice enough to give us quite a bit of money.
So how involved is she then in the overall planning? Do you have final say? Or are we...
Oh yeah, it's my day. She knows that, and she wants me to have my day.
It's her day.
I'm glad you're finally admitting to that now.
I want a little part of it too.
We're just going by what we want, what we like.
Flowers? It's extremely important to the girls. Flowers, not so much to the guys.
Really?
You looked into that?
Yeah, my bouquet is going to be orchids, just orchids. The centerpieces are going to be a big, giant, clear vase with the flowers coming out of it. And they're going to be more exotic flowers.
Since you've got about 40 centerpieces, that's going to take up a huge chunk of the budget.
I don't want to hear. Grace has pretty expensive taste, so I'm just a yes man. Okay, dear. It's all yours.
When it comes to the venue, have you discussed bar?
We've done a bar by consumption. We're going to pay for the drinks, and hopefully they don't drink us under the table.
Yeah, I'll try not to drink so much.
Yeah.
Where's the alcohol?
So basically what I figured out is that you're kind of a hip, contemporary, urban couple.
That's right.
Budget is not a huge concern for you. You'd like to keep it at a reasonable level, but you're willing to splurge in certain areas due to Grace's fabulous taste.
Yes, you're the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That said, budget?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, you said this was realistic, right? Well, let's hope.
Kanpai.
Okay.
Coming up.
People don't know that it's not authentic. Don't be such a sushi snob.
Oh, that cake was, with all the love that was in that cake. Oh man, it's the best thing I've ever tasted. I mean, without pushing it now, that's just the truth, It was so nice, it was as if I was eating a part of you.
Ooh! It's getting hot. When it comes to spending so much cash on your wedding day, you want to make sure you're getting the bang for your buck. After all, it's I do, and not what am I going to do?
Since you've got about 40 centerpieces, that's going to take up a huge chunk of the budget.
I don't want to hear it.
At the end of the show, we'll reveal whether or not Grace and Darren's downtown wedding came at an uptown price.
I wanted 2 dresses for my wedding. I already had my crane dress, and I had to go out and find my Western gown. I'm definitely not into the big, poofy, lacy.
Yeah, this is not you.
Yeah, let's go to another section. Yeah, definitely. This is more me,
This is very elegant.
We'll try that on.
Kind of looks like a cake. What about this flower dress?
Yeah, okay, we'll try this on. I wish I had a personal shopper. That would make things much easier, eh?
Well, I'm trying here. Ooh, that's beautiful.
No, I'm not into this. All right.
Ready, Grace?
I feel like a cake, and this is a no-good.
Definitely no good. That's not you at all.
No, eh?
Take it off right away.
Well, you know me best, so.
No.
No. Okay.
Dress number 3.
Ta-da!
Oh, wow.
Do you love this one? I love this one.
I like the first one better.
What? I love this dress. I don't care what you say.
And how much is this?
This one says
$9.75.
Yeah, I was expecting to spend a lot more.
Apparently, Grace didn't care about the price either.
I can't believe how cheap this is. I was willing to spend like, $2,000, $3,000 on a dress. But
They can always mark it up, but only if it'll make you happy.
I didn't have a budget, actually. Whatever dress I liked, I was going to buy, even if it cost $8,000.
That scared me.
Reno brought us to this awesome caterer that specializes in Asian fusion.
And it was awesome. Did a
It
great
was
job.
delicious.
Delicious.
So are you guys ready to start your first appetizer?
Yes.
Tandoori chicken chops. With
Nice.
Petite Reuben sandwich. The California Mackie roll, if you will.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Thank you. That's
That's good.
Not so fast. Here comes the main event.
Boneless Valentina chicken.
good.
That's so good.
Beef ribeye.
Amazing.
Isn't that good?
I'm happy.
Your stomachs are full. Now it's time to empty your wallets.
What were you looking to spend?
Spend about $100 per person.
Which actually is a fair amount of money. Yeah.
In my opinion, the food was so awesome that I think the people will be so satisfied and so full that we might not need the sushi.
But it never hurts to try it anyway, especially if it's free.
Thank you.
Actually, you're supposed to pour it for me.
Oh, stop.
You have to pour it for me. That's the Japanese way, man.
I don't want people thinking I'm your slave and I have to pour your drinks for you.
It's called etiquette. It's
No,
custom.
No, you do it yourself.
It might be a Japanese custom, but it isn't going to be Grace's.
Cheers.
So, what do you think? You want this stuff? Mm-hmm. Even the California rolls? I don't know.
Yeah. People don't know that it's not authentic. Don't be such a sushi snob. That sushi was gone, I think, within 15 minutes. And there was a lot.
You spent a pretty penny on it.
Yeah. All gone. Flowers were not a priority for me, but my mom stepped in and offered to pay for the flowers.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thanks, Mom.
So, Grace, how much are you looking to spend?
Originally, I was going to spend like absolutely nothing because flowers aren't a big deal, but they're a big deal to my mom. So she said she would pay for the flowers.
Even if it's a rich wedding, without a little bit of flower, it looks cheap wedding.
I agree with you.
I agree.
So we're not that rich, but I like to have us spending for money for the weddings.
Since you're the one handling the bill,
Yes.
what would be your perfect flowers for her wedding?
Oh, well, color lily and the hydrangeas, it's that beautiful color.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want it, so it's her wedding, so I make her decisions.
So she has no say in it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty much, yeah.
What did you have in mind?
I was thinking like birds of paradise and ginger instead of the calla lilies sticking out, something more exotic.
So you want something that's really, really high-end looking, really luxurious looking, and a
That's
little
right.
bit unusual.
That's right.
No roses, no
tropical.
carnations.
No.
Super high-end.
Well, I want high-end, but I don't want roses and carnations.
Something to consider is that when you take the lighting down in a room, you lose certain colors. So you're going to any dark colors are going to just disappear, and the only colors that are going to be visible in a dark venue, whites and ivories.
Will the orange show up from the birds of paradise, or
Not really.
They're very exotic. Oh.
So there's almost no point to having them. White and ivories will show up. So if you were to get the pink ginger, I feel like I'm planting your flowers here, and I shouldn't be. If you do the pink ginger, and then like the light pink peonies, and maybe some white dendrobium orchids.
As long as it looks expensive and it makes the venue look beautiful.
I see.
They're lovely. They're going to be beautiful.
If I don't like it, I'm after you.
Uh-oh, Karina. Better think about an unlisted phone number.
As long as they looked expensive and nice, that was pretty much the main objective.
But they were expensive.
And they were nice.
Tattoos was my idea. I've always wanted a tattoo, so I thought it'd be really cool, you know, to have some tattoos to represent the rings.
There's a couple of different options that we have, right? You can go with the traditional tribal, right, which really wraps around the finger pretty nicely.
Okay.
This came out of a designer ring, so it looks like you have a ring on, right?
Would you have something with kind of like a Japanese kind of flair, or?
Yeah, definitely. If you like, we can maybe come up with the Japanese art. You can also maybe do like a little Japanese character,
Right.
you know?
Right.
I think that will be, you know, that has a special meaning to you guys, you know?
My whole thing about tattoos, the pain factor.
It's not that bad. A lot of people think it's very painful, but it's not. The healing process is fairly quick.
They say diamonds are forever. No, this is really
Yeah,
forever.
this is really forever.
You know, I hate to bring this up, but we're living in a culture where you've got more than 50% of the weddings actually end in divorces.
There's a dose of reality for you.
I think if Darren wants to get a tattoo on his back or anywhere else, that's great. The idea of a wedding band, quite frankly, just doesn't do it for me. On a personal level, it's probably not for me, and I don't think it's... I didn't think it was for you.
The tattooing probably would have cost 200 tops, but I think in the end, you know, diamonds are a girl's best friend. And of course I want a diamond wedding band. Yeah, for sure, diamond wedding band all the way.
So, no tattoos, but rings for the both of them.
More bling for her.
Yay for me.
Poor me.
Coming up.
I'm hoping that they'll have a little bit of sympathy towards a bride that, you know, got kind of rained out.
I think I'm about to pay off the wedding from 30 years ago.
When you're putting together a wedding, there's always something that can put a wrench in even the best laid plans.
What were you looking to spend?
Spend about $100 per person.
Which actually is a fair amount of money.
And at the end of the show, we'll unveil the results of Grace and Darren's unquenchable thirst for the ultimate in urban elegance. The designer dress had been purchased, the exotic flowers chosen, and the sushi sampled. Had they forgotten anything? Oh yeah, that diamonds are forever, but a calculator is a bride's best friend.
So 2 days before the wedding, we get an email from the caterer stating that there's going to be an increase in price.
So what's happening?
What's happening now is I got an email from Stephanie this morning, the caterer, and she said that she's going to have to add 4 more chefs onto the invoice. It's going to cost us an extra almost $1,500.
Wow, did she tell you that was how much it was going to cost?
Yeah, because on the invoice it says the chefs and then how much they get paid per hour.
Yeah.
And so 4 chefs, and then it was like 4 hours. We just, you know, want to know.
Let's call her. I mean, we don't want you upset, and a couple days beforehand, you know, to get a new bill is probably not fun.
It's $1,500.
Hi, Stephanie. Grace is very concerned about the sort of the increase. I think Grace mentioned something in the neighborhood of $1,500. Does that sound right to you?
Extra?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the 4 extra chefs, they're there for 4 hours. Their hourly wage times
$20 each chef. $480. $480. Is the budget over what you gave her in the estimate at this point? Is it under?
The estimate that I originally gave her with the contract was actually higher because the number of guests went down.
Okay, so are you comfortable with that then?
Yeah.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Crisis averted and embarrassment created.
Miscalculation there. We're Asian, but we're not that great in math.
I need my abacus, and I didn't have it on me at the time.
You hear all these stories of girls telling me that, you know, on the day of their morning of their wedding, they were so excited to get up. Not me. As far as the weather's concerned, I'll be a little bit frazzled.
And your hair a bit frizzled.
Hi, Karina.
What's up?
Okay, so it's a little rainy.
So what are we gonna do?
Can we talk about the second photo location or the rain location?
But you are taking a bit of a risk there because you don't have a permit, right?
I know I don't have a permit, but I'm hoping that they'll have a little bit of sympathy towards a bride that, you know, got kind of rained out.
Yes, maybe.
So it's on to the backup location, minus an official permit.
Oh, wow.
Do a new thing.
That's nice. Beautiful dress.
You like it?
Yeah.
You look great too.
Yeah?
Looks good.
You happy?
Yes, I'm very happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Like beautiful.
The rain, but
It's okay.
we'll be all right today. Yeah.
That's if you don't get arrested for trespassing first. Uh-oh, busted.
Can I just see the permit there?
We just told the guy, permit's coming, wedding coordinator has it, she'll be coming by any second. We told him that every 5 minutes.
But we all knew Karina was not coming back.
I think he's still sitting there waiting.
I think
Sorry,
so.
buddy.
Coming up.
Do you take Grace to be your wife?
Yes, I do.
I still remember the walk down the aisle, my dad saying to me, Sandy is a prince, and I said, I know.
You never told me that.
Yeah.
When it comes to weddings and money, there's always something to take into account.
We don't want you upset, and a couple days beforehand, you know, to get a new bill is probably not fun.
No matter how much you budget, is it ever enough? Soon, we'll show you what Grace and Darren's super chic wedding actually cost.
I needed to fix my hair at the church before the ceremony because it was flat from the humidity and rain. Lil was going to do it, but I stopped her. You're gonna do this big chunk?
Yeah. It's
No.
all out.
I don't really trust her with something hot and long in her hand by my face. She's just not a hair person, and I know Vic can handle this. Sorry to offend you there.
No, I'm not offended.
And while Grace was having hers curled, Darren was putting hair on his chest thanks to yet another Japanese custom, sake.
Honestly, when I saw Grace walking down the aisle, I had to hold back my tears.
I've never seen him cry before, so it would have been a nice little moment.
But not nearly as memorable as this.
Do you take Grace to be your wife?
Yes, I do.
Louder.
Oh. Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Never mind, Darren. Grace has enough voice for the two of you.
I do.
You may now kiss the bride.
And now for something completely different.
We did the Korean ceremony, and it's just giving parents respect, bowing a lot, being in the traditional wedding outfit, and getting chestnuts thrown at us to represent how many children we would have.
Oh, we got a lot of chestnuts.
I know.
Oh, boy.
And with the Korean wedding ceremony complete, it was time for some universal rituals, including eating, drinking, and marching to the beat of a traditional drummer.
After 5.5 years of dating, I'm just so happy that today has come, and I'm now your wife.
I'm lucky, man. Love you.
Let's hope their hearts don't beat this hard when they see the final cost of the wedding.
The original budget that we handed Karina was $45,000.
The cake looked like it was straight out of a magazine. It cost $650.
The authentic Japanese sushi was a huge hit. It cost $1,500.
Karina did a great job from beginning to end. Her fee was $1,600.
Tattoo rings would have been so cool, but we decided to go with traditional rings. The rings cost us $1,380.
I really wanted 2 wedding dresses, Korean and traditional, with everything, including alterations and accessories. Together, they cost $2,360.
The flowers and decor had a huge impact on the room. Grace's mother was kind enough to give us the money for this. The cost was $4,250.
The venue suited us to a T. The total cost, including landmark fee, caterer, wait staff, bar by consumption, cost $39,000.
The additional costs, including the Korean ceremony, the photographer, and the DJ, cost us $11,160.
But what we actually spent was $61,900.
So we were over our budget by $16,900. Ouch, I think I'm gonna have to get another job. Sushi chef, if you need an apprentice, call me. Onegaishimasu.
The drums were beating, the couple was beaming, and their budget blown away. The only question left is, whose tradition is this?
Now, Grace, I need you to figure out who your husband is, okay? Is that Darren? No? Okay, get right in there, Deacon. Are you having fun, Grace? Do we have a winner?
From the very first sight of her, I knew it all on my own.
That is hot stuff right there.
That's gonna leave a mark.